you been on such a shocking night?
I'll tell you where I was. I was over at Gypsy Rose Romanoff's. She had to look at me balls for me.
She what?
Yeah, she's got one for the future
Oh.
and one for the past.
Right, yeah.
She says in the near future, she could see me having a windfall. Hey!
Windfall. When will you ever learn to stop flittle-flattling around with the supernatural? You'll end up like Katrina Eczema from Rash Ring.
So she had her future told, huh?
Oh yeah, by the famous Madame Vargina. She, of course, claims to be the world's greatest psychic, with readings 100% accurate. She told Katrina that she was going to meet a man, marry him, and become a millionaire.
Beckett, I should have gone to her.
After the fortune-telling, Katrina was delighted, because that was all she ever wanted, to be rich and live the life she thought she deserved. She wanted it all, and she wanted it fast. And when she found her fortune, she was going to share it with nobody. Over the next few days, Katrina had her eye on every fella that crossed her path, wondering if he was the man with the money. But it wasn't until she was having drinks after work that she overheard a man at the bar.
I'm Ireland's #1 cigar importer.
He boasted. This must be him.
With her luck, he was probably a good-looking stud boy.
No, unfortunately, he was a pig-ugly bastard with breath like a rhino's colon. But that didn't matter to Katrina. All she could see were pound signs in his eyes. So after a bit of courting, Benji Swillshank of Swillshank Cigars and Katrina Eczema from Rash Ring became husband and wife. As he leaned over to kiss the bride, his rancid breath made her gag. But the thought of the money settled her stomach. That evening, Katrina couldn't believe her eyes as Benji carried her over the threshold of a very modest dwelling.
Oh, yeah. A shithole!
Yep.
Oh, let's get down to some good lovin', baby.
He said.
Before we do, can you explain to me why I'm not living in a swimming-pooled mansion? I thought you were a millionaire.
She growled. He explained that his terminally ill father had all the money, but he was about to pop off at any minute. Then they would be in the clover, with more money than sense. So she laid back and thought of flash cars, fur coats, fancy holidays, and a few toy boys on the side. Whilst the putrid walrus sweated out of his tobacco-drenched pores as he had his wicked way with her.
Suppose for £1 million, I'd puff in his cigar.
Next day, she got the news. Daddy Swillshank was dead and left all his money to...
Benji!
No, the revenue commissioners. Old man Swillshank was a very poor bookkeeper, and the taxmen swooped on his carcass like vultures.
Jesus. Madame Virginia was wrong for the very first time in her life.
That's what Katrina thought, and she couldn't spend one more minute in the presence of her revolting husband. She left the house she hated with murder on her mind. She was going to kill that pig of a husband for leading her on. She walked into the DIY store to pick up some rat poison. As she got to the till, an alarm bell rang. She was the 1,000,000th customer, and Katrina had won £1 million.
Aha! The fortune teller was right. So she did become a millionaire.
She got back to the apartment and started to pack her things. Poor Benji got back from the funeral. He was very upset.
What are you doing, Katrina?
He asked.
Getting out of here, you fat pig!
She snapped.
But what about our marriage, Katrina?
He asked.
I only married you for your money. But now that I've got my own, I don't want to smell your vile body stench ever again.
She said as she headed for the door. Benji's jealous streak burst forth.
Well, if I can't have you, no one can.
he yelled as he lunged at her, pushing her down the long flight of stairs. She lay in a heap with a broken neck, covered in her precious money.
Jesus, that's shocking.
So, Madame Vargina's fortune-telling was 100% correct. But poor old Katrina was only a millionaire for 5 minutes. She didn't even get to spend a penny.
Well, anyway, I'm looking forward to all my money.
Why? What exactly did your fortune-teller tell you?
That I'd have a windfall this evening.
Windfall? You big gobsheen.
Oh, shite.
Yeah.